Welcome to Hollywood Echoes 1960s. You know the starships, the heroes, and the utopian promise of Star Trek, the next generation. But strip away the warp drives, and you find a cast defined by brilliance, private struggles, and inevitable loss. Too many of these icons have taken that final, irreversible journey into the stars. Join Hollywood Echoes 1960s as we honor 28 TNG actors who've left us, tracing legacies that burn bright across the galaxy long after they're gone. Tony Todd embodied Kurn, the fierce Klingon warrior in Star Trek, The Next Generation, a casting choice that changed the species' on-screen intensity forever. Debuting in Sins of the Father, 1990, Kurn wasn't just a guest star. He was the bombshell revelation of Worf's long-lost brother. While Worf navigated Starfleet discipline, Todd played the raw, dishonored soul of their house, his baritone voice forging instant Klingon lore. Born December 4th, 1954, Todd was 36 when he first stepped onto the bridge, bringing a theatrical weight far beyond his years. That role launched a genre-defining career, from the terrifying hook of Candyman to the paranoia of The X-Files and 24. He became a master of screen presence. Todd left us on November 6, 2024, at age 69. An undisclosed cancer took the man, but not the legend. His Kurn remains a pillar of Star Trek history, essential for anyone trying to understand the complexity of Klingon honor beyond simple aggression. Andreas Katsulas played Commander Tomalak, a Romulan officer who turned diplomatic tension into a spectator sport in Star Trek, The Next Generation. Arriving in The Enemy, 1989, Tomalak wasn't a standard villain. He served as the intellectual foil to the Federation, challenging Captain Picard not with phasers, but with high-stakes chess matches in the neutral zone. Katsulas injected a dangerous charisma into the makeup, elevating Tomalak into the definitive face of Romulan cunning. Born May 18, 1946, he was 43 when he first donned the prosthetics, already a veteran of character work. While Trek fans know the Romulan, sci-fi history reveres his G'Kar in Babylon 5. Katsulas passed February 13, 2006, at 59, claimed by lung cancer. His Tomalak stands as a masterclass in antagonism, perfectly encapsulating the Cold War paranoia between the Federation and the Romulan Empire, a performance that proves you don't need a weapon to be terrifying. Georgia Brown brought warmth to the cold vacuum of space, as Helena Rozhenko, Worf's adoptive mother in Star Trek, The Next Generation. Her debut in Family, 1990, grounded the series. Watching her and husband Sergei visit Worf on Earth proved love transcends species. Brown's performance did the heavy lifting for Worf's psychology, softening the edges of a warrior raised among humans. She highlighted the beautiful friction between his Klingon genetics and the gentle, nurturing humanity that actually raised him. Born October 21, 1933, Brown was 57 upon joining the cast, bringing the pedigree of a celebrated stage career and Oliver fame. We lost her on July 5, 1992, at just 58, following complications from surgery. Her Helena Rozhenko remains the heart of Worf's narrative, a reminder that in the 24th century, family is defined by bond, not blood. Leonard Nimoy returned as Spock, the legendary Vulcan ambassador, crashing into the timeline of Star Trek, The Next Generation with seismic impact. The two-part event Unification, 1991, saw the ambassador crossing generations. He risked everything on a covert mission to Romulus, pursuing an impossible dream, the reunification of the Vulcan and Romulan peoples. Nimoy's delivery, calm, logical, weighty, literally bridged the franchise, validating TNG as the true successor to the original adventures. Born March 26, 1931, Nimoy was 60 during this reprise, carrying the history of the entire saga on his shoulders. A career that defined a genre, from directing The Voyage Home to mastering espionage in Mission Impossible. Nimoy departed on February 27, 2015, at 83. COPD claimed the man, but the logic lives on. His appearance in TNG wasn't a cameo, it was a benediction, cementing a legacy of peace that echoes through every iteration of the franchise. Charles Cooper stepped in as Campek, the towering Klingon chancellor in Star Trek: The Next Generation. First seen in Sins of the Father, 1990, Campek represented the old guard. Powerful, yes, but weary from endless political knife fights. Returning in Reunion, 1990, he delivered the shocking revelation of his own poisoning, triggering a brutal civil war for succession. Cooper played the role with Shakespearean exhaustion, transforming Campek from a plot device into a tragic figure of crumbling authority. Born August 11th, 1926, Cooper was 64 when he took the throne, channeling decades of experience. His resume was a history of American TV, Star Trek V, The X-Files, Gunsmoke. He passed November 29th, 2013. At 87, his Campek remains vital without him. The intricate saga of Klingon honor and political treachery would lack its founding father. Patty Yasutake brought quiet strength to Nurse Alyssa Ogawa, the backbone of the medical bay on the USS Enterprise D in Star Trek: The Next Generation. The show introduced her in Future Imperfect, 1990. Ogawa wasn't just background. She was the trusted right hand to Dr. Beverly Crusher, handling the critical realities of sickbay that the captains rarely saw. Yasutake infused Ogawa with a professional warmth that resonated, turning a supporting role into one of the most beloved fixtures of the crew. Born on September 6, 1953, Yasutake stepped into the role at 37, a seasoned entry point for a career that refused to stagnate. While Trekkies know her well, modern audiences might clock her recent resurgence in the acclaimed series Beef, proving her range extends far beyond the bridge. With credits like Gung Ho and The Wash anchoring her resume, the industry lost this talent on August 5, 2024, at age 70, following a resilient standoff with cancer. Her nurse Ogawa wasn't just background decoration. She became the human anchor in sickbay, proving that Starfleet's heartbeat relied as much on support staff as it did on captains. Frank Corsentino embodied Daimon Bok, a vengeful Ferengi captain, introduced in the 1987 episode The Battle, a casting choice that defined the species' early menace. Bok's vendetta against Captain Jean-Luc Picard isn't business. It's personal retribution for his son's death during the Battle of Maxia. Corsentino's delivery shattered the caricature of Ferengi as mere capitalists, layering grief underneath the greed to reveal complex motivations that unsettled the bridge crew. Born July 13, 1941, in San Pedro, California, Corsentino was 46 when he first donned the prosthetics. His gritty screen presence wasn't accidental. It was forged through decades of television work, with stints on heavy hitters like Gunsmoke and Ironside. Corsentino left us on January 7, 2007, at the age of 65. His Daimon Bok stands as a pillar of TNG lore, forcing the Federation to confront the messy reality that interstellar diplomacy often bleeds into personal vendettas. Mark Lenard returned as Sarek, the legendary Vulcan ambassador and father of Spock, bringing immense gravity to Star Trek: The Next Generation. Debuting in the 1990 episode Sarek, Lenard didn't just recite lines. He dismantled the stoic Vulcan archetype before our eyes. He portrayed an aging diplomat ravaged by Bendy syndrome, a rare Vulcan illness stripping away emotional control, a heartbreaking metaphor for dementia in a logic-based society. He returned for unification in 1991, where Sarek, near death, shares a final mind meld with Captain Picard, a torch-passing moment that bridged generations. Born October 15, 1924, Lenard brought 66 years of life experience to the role, adding immense weight to the character's twilight years. His gravitas was cultivated across a vast career, with memorable stops in Planet of the Apes and Mission, Impossible defining his trajectory. Lenard passed on November 22, 1996, at 72, succumbing to multiple myeloma. Yet, his Sarek remains the gold standard of Vulcan culture, turning alien logic into something profoundly human. George Murdoch stepped in as Admiral J.P. Hansen, embodying the high-ranking Starfleet authority figure. Hansen anchored the stakes in the legendary two-part event, The Best of Both Worlds, in 1990, orchestrating Starfleet's desperate defense against the Borg invasion. Confident and tactical, his collaboration with Commander Shelby highlighted the internal friction and innovation needed to counter an existential threat. The narrative hammer dropped at the Battle of Wolf 359, where Hansen and his fleet were obliterated, a shock that signaled no one was safe. Born June 25, 1930, Murdoch was 60 when he commanded the screen. With a resume boasting The X-Files, Barney Miller, and Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, his career was a testament to versatility before his death on April 30, 2012, at 81 due to cancer. His Admiral Hansen remains immortalized in TNG history, marking the devastating moment Starfleet lost its innocence. Alan Scarf portrayed Admiral Mendak, capturing the cunning essence of a high-ranking Romulan officer. In the 1991 episode, Data's Day, Mendak masterminds a covert extraction of the spy, Sub-Commander Salok, who had infiltrated the Federation as the Vulcan ambassador to Pell. Scarf's performance elevated the Romulan archetype, peeling back layers of duplicity to reveal a strategist who played the Federation like a chessboard. Born June 8, 1946, in Harpenden, England, Scarf was 45 when he executed this deception. His extensive career spans stage and screen, including roles like Tokath in Birthright, Part 2, and Magistrate Ogris in Star Trek Voyager, showcasing his adaptability within the franchise. Scarf took his final bow on April 28, 2024, at the age of 79. His Admiral Mendak stands as a definitive study in Cold War-style tension, perfectly exemplifying the fragile peace between the Federation and the Romulan Empire. Barbara March erupted onto the screen as Lursa, one half of the infamous Duras sisters, debuting in the 1991 blockbuster Redemption. Lursa, conspiring with her sister Beator, turned Klingon politics into a blood sport, manipulating alliances to seize the Empire. March didn't just play a villain. She projected a commanding menace that made Lursa a legitimate threat to the High Council. Her reign of treachery extended beyond TNG, wreaking havoc in Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and the feature film Star Trek Generations. Born October 9, 1953, March was 38 when she first donned the House of Duras armor. A veteran of the stage in films like The Portrait, March passed away on August 11, 2019, at 65, after facing cancer. Her legacy as Lursa endures as a masterclass in Klingon ambition, reminding fans that the Empire's most dangerous weapons weren't disruptors, but politics. Majel Barrett stands apart as the literal voice of the future, providing the iconic, cool-headed tones of the Enterprise computer. In The Next Generation, she embedded her distinctive cadence into the ship's very hull, becoming the AI's soul. Starting with TNG in 1987, she became the franchise's connective tissue, voicing Starfleet's operating systems across decades of series and films. Born February 23, 1932, Barrett was 55 when she redefined the sound of the 24th century. Beyond the voice, she was franchise royalty, known for her roles as Nurse Chapel in the original series and the flamboyant Lwaxana Troi in TNG and Deep Space Nine. As the wife of creator Gene Roddenberry, she was far more than a spouse. She was the first lady of the franchise. Barrett passed away on December 18, 2008, at 76 due to leukemia. Yet, her voice is immortal, literally the auditory interface of Starfleet technology. Malachi Throne stepped in as Senator Pardek, a seasoned Romulan politician in Star Trek The Next Generation, anchoring the pivotal two-part episode Unification in 1991. Pardek appeared as an old ally of Spock, seemingly championing the radical cause of Vulcan-Romulan reunification. But the turn was brutal. He betrayed Spock, exposing his true loyalty to the Romulan High Command. Throne's performance layered deception under diplomacy, escalating the stakes. Born on December 1, 1928, Throne brought a lifetime of villainy from Batman and Mission Impossible to this role. He was 63 when he brought Pardek to life. Throne passed away on March 13, 2013, at 84 due to lung cancer. His Pardek remains the catalyst for Spock's underground movement in TNG, adding layers to the Romulan Empire's duplicity. Richard Hurd tackled the role of Likor, a Klingon warrior in Star Trek. The Next Generation, featured in the emotional arc of Birthright Part 2, 1993. Likor wasn't a standard warrior. He represented the Klingons trapped in a Romulan prison camp who chose shame and exile over returning home. His character deconstructed Klingon honor, prioritizing community over war. Born September 26, 1932, Hurd was 61 during filming. His career was a powerhouse run, spanning V, Seinfeld, and later returning to the franchise in Voyager as Admiral Owen Paris. Hurd left us on May 26, 2020, at 87 due to cancer. His portrayal of Likor stands out for exposing the vulnerability behind the armor, enriching Klingon cultural history. John Hancock commanded the screen as Admiral Hayden, a high-ranking Starfleet officer in Star Trek: The Next Generation, notably in the episode The Defector, 1990. Hayden served as the pragmatic counterweight to Captain Picard, highlighting the risks of accepting a Romulan defector. His character gave a face to Starfleet's bureaucratic and strategic anxieties during the Cold War with the Romulan Empire. Born March 4, 1941, Hancock was 49 when he played the Admiral. Outside the Federation, he was a heavyweight in Hill Street, Blues and Roots, The Next Generations. Tragically, Hancock passed away on October 12, 1992, at just 51 due to a heart attack. His Admiral Hayden remains a crucial study in command dynamics, grounding the political tension of the Star Trek universe. Mike Haggerty portrayed Captain Larg, a Klingon officer in Star Trek: The Next Generation, appearing in the episode Redemption 2, 1991. Larg backed the Duras family during the Klingon Civil War, a role that required immediate physical presence. While the screen time was limited, Haggerty imposed a genuine threat, selling the volatility of the fractured empire. Born May 10, 1954, Haggerty was 37 during this appearance. Fans recognize him instantly from Friends, Seinfeld, and Overboard. Haggerty passed away on May 5, 2022, at 67 due to complications from an infection. His turn in TNG demonstrates incredible range, shifting from sitcom comedy to the deadly serious politics of the Klingon High Council. Stephen Lee took on the role of a bartender in Star Trek: The Next Generation, setting the scene in Gambit Part 1, 1993. He managed the seedy establishment where Captain Picard, undercover as Galen, staged his own death to infiltrate a mercenary group. Even in a minor capacity, Lee provided the grit necessary to sell the episode's criminal underworld atmosphere. Born November 11, 1955, Lee was 34 when he joined the TNG cast. His resume was extensive, featuring RoboCop 2, War Games, and Seinfeld. Lee passed away on August 14, 2014, at 58 due to a heart attack. His contribution helps build the lived-in texture of the galaxy beyond the clean Federation starships. George Coe portrayed Chancellor Ael Durkin, the leader of Malcor III in Star Trek: The Next Generation. Featured in First Contact, 1991, Durkin carried the weight of a leader realizing his world wasn't ready for the interstellar stage. This character inverted the usual script, forcing viewers to see the Federation as the terrifying aliens disrupting a society. Born May 10, 1929, Coe was 62 here. His career was legendary, including being an original member of Saturday Night Live and voicing Woodhouse in Archer. Coe passed away on July 18, 2015, at 86 due to an undisclosed illness. His Chancellor Durkin is a masterclass in understated acting, embodying the fear and wonder of scientific discovery. John Neville brought history to life as Isaac Newton in Star Trek: The Next Generation, appearing in Descent Part 1, 1993. Newton sat at the poker table with Einstein, Hawking, and Data a surreal meeting of minds. Neville's role was brief but pivotal, bringing Shakespearean gravitas to the legendary scientist and anchoring one of TNG's most intellectual scenes. Born May 2, 1925, Neville brought 68 years of refined experience to the set. His resume screams versatility, ranging from the fantastical The Adventures of Baron Munchausen to the shadowy, well-manicured man in The X-Files. Neville departed on November 19, 2011, at 86, following a battle with Alzheimer's disease. His incarnation of Newton wasn't just a cameo. It grounded the show's philosophical exploration in historical weight. Stephen Cherish stepped into the complex shoes of Dr. Hal Moseley in Star Trek: The Next Generation, defining the 1994 episode Thine Own Self. Moseley represents the collision of village intuition and alien technology when facing an amnesiac, Data. This character study highlighted the friction between pre-industrial belief and scientific reality, showing how fear shapes understanding. Born February 5, 1926, Cherish was 65 when he filmed the segment, channeling intensity from a career that included High Plains Drifter, Carrie, 1976, and The Untouchables. Cherish left us on September 6, 2014, at 88, due to stroke complications. His performance stands as a testament to the show's deeper themes, exploring the terrifying gap between ignorance and discovery. William Boyett commanded the screen as Lieutenant Dan Bell in Star Trek: The Next Generation. Appearing in the noir-soaked The Big Goodbye from 1988, Bell served as a 24th century officer aboard the USS Enterprise D. Though a supporting player, he was crucial to the episode where Captain Picard becomes trapped in a malfunctioning Dixon Hill simulation. Born January 3, 1927, Boyett was 61 on set. Producers capitalized on his typecast authority, known for Adam, 1-2, Perry Mason, and Highway Patrol. He brought instant credibility to the lawman archetype. Boyett passed away on December 29, 2004, at 77, due to pneumonia and kidney failure. His contribution helped validate the holodeck as a legitimate, high-stakes storytelling vehicle. Stephen Hawking achieved the impossible in Star Trek: The Next Generation, shattering the fourth wall as the only guest in franchise history to portray their actual self. In Descent Part 1, 1993, he sat at the poker table with Data, Isaac Newton, and Albert Einstein, merging real genius with fiction. Born January 8, 1942, Hawking was 51 when he lent his brilliance to the Enterprise. A titan of theoretical physics, he revolutionized black hole theory and cosmology while defying a diagnosis of ALS at age 21. His influence extended from academia to bestsellers like A Brief History of Time. Hawking departed on March 14, 2018, at 76, following complications from ALS. This cameo remains a cultural monolith, symbolizing the ultimate union of scientific ambition and science fiction dreaming. Their biological voyages have ceased, yet their spirits remain woven into the stellar tapestry. These performances continue to resonate with new generations, proving that true artistry never fades to black. We appreciate you honoring these legacies with us. To keep these timeless icons alive, like, share, and subscribe to Hollywood Echoes 1960s, where the stars of yesterday live long and prosper.